Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. This is episode number 250 of the Immigration Answer Show. That is hard to believe. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday to Jim. Happy birthday to me. Thank you, Huli. It's an exciting day. I am 52 years old today. I was born on this day in 1970. Most of you were probably not alive back in September of 1970, but I'm glad you're all watching. I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad that we're going to spend this hour together. I can't think of a better way to spend my birthday than with the friends that I love so much. I am going with our team to the Cardinal game tonight. We're going to see some baseball. Hopefully your St. Louis Cardinals will crush the second place Milwaukee Brewers and send them packing to the postseason. The Cardinals, if you don't know, are on a tear. They have three seniors who are about to retire probably at the end of the year. Yadier Molina, Adam Wainwright, and number 5, Albert Pujols, who is just 3 home runs away from reaching rarefied air of 700 home runs in his career. 700 home runs. So hopefully tonight we'll get to see Albert knock one over the fences. That would make my day. We have about 15 people from the St. Louis office of our firm going to the game tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are ready to go. The waiting room is full. I am ready to go. Thanks for all the birthday wishes, everybody. I very much appreciate it. I will go through and read those later. Those make me very happy. For now, I'm going to say hi to my friend Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hello, good afternoon. Happy birthday, Jim.
Thanks, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
So what can I help you with?
I've been doing online dating. I watched one of your videos recently. I think it was called like dating on the first or marriage on the first trip or something like that. Enjoyed that, but I'm just trying to learn I am very serious about the relationship. I have made a flight to go see her next month. She lives in Peru. And just trying to read all the information that's out there about what's the best way to proceed if we do decide to get married. Do we do the K-1 fiance visa or do I was thinking it might be actually better to go to Peru and marry her there, because then she'll be with her family and her parents, and then that would be like most honoring for her. But then I guess I have to come back to the United States and then apply for her to sponsor her. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know what I want to do, what's best, and, use wisdom to do this. And I thought I'd get some insight.
Has she ever been to the United States?
No.
And has she ever tried to get a visit visa to the United States?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So most likely you're going to have to go one of the two routes that you identified. In theory, she could apply for a visit visa, but most visit visas are denied, and you're probably going to lose some time if you go that approach. How long have you guys known each other online?
Since February.
And this will be the first time that you meet face to face.
That's right.
So I've been sort of down on fiance visas for the past couple of years for a couple of reasons, Jeffrey. One is that they're sort of low on the priority of things that get processed both at USCIS and at immigration. In the old days, everyone was like, "Oh, fiance visas are the best. You get to America faster." Mm-hmm. That's not really true anymore. Fiance visas, as far as I can tell, aren't getting here any faster than spouse cases. So I think that allure has sort of fallen away. If you were to get married, are you thinking that you would do it on this first trip, like in my video, or that you'd go hang out and then come back and then go back and get married on a second trip?
Well, I mean, she's really ready. She's like, if you ask me to marry you, I'm gonna say yes. She's already told me that. So I'm gonna stay there for at least 3 weeks, and so technically there would be time probably to apply over there. You have to go to their municipalities and you apply and you provide the information they request, and then they set up a time and they do a civil ceremony in that country. And So I would be open to that, but I want to do what's best, because you were kind of inferring that wouldn't, be better if you could, go for a visit, come back to the United States, set up another time, and that's going to maybe help the process because it looks more legitimate.
So let's just imagine that there's a hierarchy. Okay, let's say that there's a hypothetical couple A and hypothetical couple B. Okay, hypothetical couple A, the U.S. citizen works part-time in America, part-time in Peru, and goes back and forth a couple times a year. And at the time that they get married, they've known each other for 3 or 4 years. That he's been to Peru 5 or 6 times or 10 times in the last 2 or 3 years. There's a long, easily demonstrated history between the couple. So that's sort of one end of the extreme, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the other end of the extreme is a couple that marries online or that meets online. The U.S. citizen goes over for the first time, and they get married towards the end of that first trip. That's couple B. Which do you think would have a better chance of getting the visa approved?
Yeah. Sure.
So it's not even me saying it. It's more about,
Mm-hmm.
if you this is always a good thing to do. If you take immigration out of the matter, then you ask yourself, is this what reasonable people would do? Now, I think we have a counter to that. If you were to get married, do I think you could get the case approved if you got married on this first trip? Yes, I do. Do I think you even have a counter argument? Not that you really get the chance to make such an argument, but to me, you sort of take the long delays that everyone's experiencing at USCIS and at the State Department, and you sort of turn that on its head, and you say, well, the reason we got married, we might not have normally gotten married on this very first trip, but because you fools are taking so long, we decided that we didn't want to be apart much longer. And so that's why I got married on this very first trip. Now, like I said, it's pretty hard for you to even get the chance to make that argument. In theory, your spouse could make it at the visa interview, but that's sort of a sophisticated argument and one that's probably going to be hard to pull off, especially under the pressure of an embassy interview. I would, if I got to wave my magic wand, I would say get married on the second or third visit. I could probably live with the second one. I just think going overseas and either filing a fiance case after a first 3-week visit or getting married at the end of a 3-week visit, I think that just sets you up for them to really sort of poke holes in it and really just to sit on the case more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it looks like leaning towards the spousal support type of visa. That's the 130.
Yep. Yeah. 130. Yep. For sure. I would definitely vote for that over fiance. But hold on, something weird's going on. My scanner's updating. Okay, so so I would encourage you to go hang out, see how it is, and then maybe at the end of the trip ask her to marry you, and then I know it's expensive, but then go back a second time and do the marriage there so her family can come and all that stuff, and then file the I-130 petition.
Yeah, and no need to wait a real long time before the second trip, like maybe in the spring or something, go back. And
I think that'd be awesome.
Something like that. Yeah, that'd be reasonable. And
yeah, a little bit more deliberate, a little slower, and then I think I think having that one extra trip under your belt really helps your credibility.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, Jeffrey, is there anything else you're worried about? Is there an age gap that you're worried about or anything? Have either of you been married before?
I've been married before, and but yeah, it seems very. The nice thing about some of these apps nowadays is, we spend hours every day conversing on the WhatsApp, doing video calls, and helps with the interpretation, learning the languages, because they don't know too much English in Peru.
So keep track of all that stuff. That'll all be good evidence later.
Yeah, it's all documented in the app, so you would have a lot of information you could show them. USCIS, yeah. So
All right, Jeffrey, well, keep us posted.
Yeah.
Let us know how your trip goes.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim. Take
Bye,
care.
buddy. Yep.
Enjoy the
Have a good
game.
day. All right. Let's say hi to Britain to England. Nice. I like it.
Hi, Jim. Happy birthday.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for the birthday wishes. What's up?
So I just have some updates. I actually filed a lawsuit with your office. So I have some updates on that, and then I have a question.
Okay.
We filed the summons, and all defendants received the summons on July 28th.
Okay.
That was on an I-751. We only filed it on the I-751 and not the M400 because the M400 hadn't been in long enough. They actually processed both. So I got a notification saying that I had a interview scheduled for my N400 on August 8th. And then yesterday, my I-751 was approved, and
Nice.
it says new card being produced. So I guess the lawsuit helped for both cases. So that's awesome.
It does sometimes. Yeah. They'll just look at the whole thing and say, what are we messing around with any of this for? Sure. That's all good.
Okay. So yeah, it was great. So the question I have is, now that my green card has been approved, do I take my wife to the M400 interview, or is it just me that goes? I've seen a lot online that says different. So
it was you applied under the 3-year rule?
Yes.
Yeah, so your spouse should come to the interview. You never know. 95%, they should bring a book. 95% of the time, they'll just sit in the waiting room. But sometimes I've had officers ask for more marital evidence. So that would be silly since you already had the 751 approved, but that could happen.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically all I had for questions.
Cool. Awesome. Great. How long had you been waiting before you filed the lawsuit?
So it was 18 months on the I-751 with nothing, not even biometrics done or anything.
And did you actually have a 751 interview, or they just approved it?
No, they just approved it.
Nice. Okay, well, good luck with Nats. Let us know how it goes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, that was fun. Let's say hi to Adam or David. We'll go to Adam next. Hi, David.
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
Yeah, well, myself and my husband have been on an 8-year journey with your favorite UCSIS.
My friends, my buddies, my amigos, as Chris Farley would say. Yes. So tell me about it. So are you the U.S. citizen or are you the foreign national?
No, I'm a U.S. citizen.
And what kind of case do you have pending, or tell me what's going on in your 8-year journey?
Okay, well, I met my husband when he came to the U.S. to flee Putin's Russia as a political opposition activist in 2014.
Okay.
And his intent was to file asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And he filed asylum in 2015, and we got married, but he had no thought about marriage sponsorship.
Why?
Because he thought he was going to get adjudicated on the asylum.
Okay.
And then when asylum got slow in 2016, we thought, okay, we'll do marriage sponsorship, but we needed because he was part of because he was part of a U.S. Department of State program that trained political activists. He had a J1 program. He had the 2-year foreign residency rule.
Yep.
And as you know, the Damocles sword that kills that is either asylum or a waiver.
Right.
So we applied for a waiver, and they had the 400 pages of evidence, hard evidence, verifiable, multi-sourced, based on persecution of political activity opinion from December 17, and they just approved the waiver in July 2021.
Nice.
So we've moved forward with the marriage sponsorship.
Great.
And we have that in since December 17, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, we're coming up on, almost 1 year of this application being in.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to see my husband get his permanent residence, U.S. permanent residence status by New Year's, by this New Year's. And I'm a little bit frustrated. Our attorney says, oh, well, just wait 18 months and see what happens. I'm like,
I mean,
yeah.
So okay, a couple things. One is it's great that the waiver got approved. Is it the same attorney that got the waiver approved?
Yeah. Well, the attorney didn't get the waiver approved. I mean, yes, the attorney did document the waiver case. Yes. So it's the same attorney.
So that attorney you should be very grateful to. That's a really good job. I know he had 400 pages of evidence, but it's still not easy to get a State Department waiver on a J1.
Yeah, well, we also employed the assistance of a U.S. congressperson
Okay, good.
to unglue it.
So lots of gratitude all around. But regardless, you will not get a decision on that. So, and just to be clear, David, some people file the I-130 and wait to do the 45 until the J1 waiver is approved, but you filed it all together in December after the waiver?
So after the waiver was approved in July.
Oh, July.
Of last year.
Yeah.
In December, we filed the I-130, the I-485, the I-864.
Sure. All the regular stuff.
And all the immunization stuff.
Sure. Okay. So here's the tricky part. I don't think he's going to get his green card by January, and the reason for that is he's from Russia, and Russia is one of the countries right now where the United States feels like they can't do a proper background check.
Oh, wait a minute. He's a very high-profile person. I mean,
doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Well, it might matter to you. It doesn't matter to USCIS.
Well, maybe when you look at this flag here, this is one of the things that he's doing currently to put a thumb in the eye of Putin.
Yeah, but listen, David, we screw over in the immigration process. We screw over people who've been allies of the United States, who've been doing work that the United States would say politically is helpful. The hardest thing for me to do is get green cards and citizenship for guys that worked as translators in Afghanistan and in Iraq.
Oh, yeah,
so
I know.
He could be the U.S.'s greatest ally, but if they feel like they can't complete a background check, there's that piece to it. Then there's this other piece, and that is he applied for asylum. By definition, people who apply for asylum and go through the marriage process, not necessarily by definition, but almost always, those cases take longer than if he had just come on a visa, gotten married, and applied through you. So I say that because the fact that he still has an asylum case out there pending means that they, in their minds, have to go out and get that asylum case, see what groups he mentioned in there, see if any of those groups render him ineligible to adjust status, and then conduct the interview. So they're going to sit on this case for a while. And when they do, there's going to be a lot of questions at his interview about all the stuff he did in Russia, even though it was pro-America or anti-Putin. Doesn't matter. It's still in their dumb minds. They can't get around the fact of everything that you're saying. Does that make sense?
That's why we did the waiver case on the persecution grounds.
Yeah, that was good.
Because the attorneys, it was already in flight. The attorney said, well, why didn't you do hardship? And I said, well, because the persecution is the same evidence and even a higher standard evidence than asylum. And it's the same evidence we would have had to do for the asylum case.
Mm-hmm.
So we killed two birds with one stone. He could move forward with a mandamus court suit on the asylum case if we wanted to switch gears.
I wouldn't do that.
No.
No, I would
No.
just sit tight. He has a proper entry. He's married to a U.S. citizen. The I-130 and 45 are already pending. I just think you need to slow down a little bit,
Okay.
lower your expectations a little bit, and understand that literally Iraq, Syria, Russia, and Yemen right now, it's hard to get green cards for those people because their systems apparently can't do full background checks. Now, of those four, I think Russia's the one that does move the most.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about somebody with here's the other thing: if he's doing activities that are, as you say, sticking it in the eye of Putin, that means he's probably on the radar of the FBI. I would imagine, not in a bad way, but just I would imagine that he's on their radar. If he's on their radar and there's a smell of the FBI anywhere on his file, that slows it down too. So you might need me later, but I would ditch the asylum case and I would just focus on your case.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't withdraw the asylum case, but I wouldn't spend much time thinking about trying to push that out first.
Yeah, no, we were centered on what you just said, which was going for the marriage sponsorship. And maybe I have too high expectations of what should be my expectations according to you in terms of the marriage sponsorship.
I think middle of next year. In what field office will you have your interview?
It's Washington, D.C.
So Fairfax. So Fairfax is pretty busy. So yeah, probably I would say like next April or May of 2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
even
thinking
if
18 months. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so I'll reset my
Yeah, that's good.
my over exuberance here about.
Yeah.
I know it's tough, and I've just been feeling very frustrated because as he came in on a visitor visa, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time, right? He was on a visitor visa,
Mm-hmm.
and but even if he was on a visitor visa, I could never have sponsored him because he had that
Waiver, the J1, 212E.
J1, so he had to file asylum. Well, he didn't have to, but he filed asylum,
Mm-hmm.
and we're here waiting on marriage sponsorship. But so I'm hopeful. Okay, so sometime mid next year maybe.
Yeah, and I would just use this time between now and then to make your case stronger, develop evidence, go on trips, take pictures, keep receipts, all that stuff. Just focus on that kind of stuff, and then whenever you're ready, you're ready.
Well, we have 7.5 years or 7 years already documented in the case.
That's great.
I mean, if they don't, I know it's a system.
It's a racket. All right, David, good luck, my friend. See you, bud.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks. All right, Adam, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
Great.
So my question is, my fiance currently has a pending K1 visa. She's Filipino.
Okay.
And right now we've been waiting for the Manila embassy to contact her to set up the interview. We're having second thoughts now on going through with the K1 visa at this time because we're not sure we want to commit to live in the U.S. over 6 months a year, which I believe is required to get our green card. Ideally, we would get married and then be able to visit the U.S. maybe 2 to 4 months out of the year and keep our residency out of the country. Should we cancel the K1 visa and then try to get a tourist visa, or what would you recommend for that sort of situation?
How long ago did USCIS approve the I-129F? How long has the State Department had the case?
I think I applied like when everything shut down for COVID. I think that May, I think it shut down in like March or February, and then that May, I think, or June, we applied, and then it took forever to get it. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but I remember they said it took forever, and they finally forwarded some information over to the Manila embassy, and they basically said they will reach out and contact her for her interview or whatever. And so we've probably waited like a couple 2-3 months since that was our last update. But
so how old is your fiance?
She's 33. 3, I believe.
So the embassy in
He-
Manila does not give visit visas to the United States for young ladies in their 30s from the Philippines, especially if they have any kind of scent that there's a boyfriend, fiance, or husband, which they now know because we filed the I-129F and got it approved.
What about if we were planning on, we have some friends that same thing. I have a buddy, he's a US citizen. He married a Philippine girl.
Mhm.
She was denied to come on a tourist visa, I think once or twice to the States.
Yep.
And they got married in Hong Kong, because I guess Hong Kong makes it easy and the US recognizes the marriage. And then they applied for her to come and visit the US and she got approved. My fiance, she's worked, I think a tough thing too, she applied to come over 4 times on a tourist visa. This was years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe probably the last time was like 3 or 4 years ago. She got denied every time. She's worked for me for 13 years, I'd say.
Mhm.
Or worked with my company for about 13 years. And anyway, so we were looking at, we kind of want to travel the world and just like, maybe come visit the US. That would be the ideal situation. Maybe
Yeah,
a
but
couple.
they don't. They're not set up that way. They find a spouse of a U.S. citizen trying to enter. They think she's trying to jump the line on a green card. So I think your best bet is to finish the fiance. I mean, first of all, as you can tell, nothing fast happens in Manila. So to start all over and get married, I just think that's another 2 or 3 years of headache. Why not have her come here, get married, get the green card, and then just make sure you come back every 6 months? I think that's your best bet. If
Yeah.
not, you could get the green card and then get a reentry permit, which lets her stay out of the United States for 2 years. So you could travel the world for 2 years. If the plan eventually is to be in the United States to either have kids or use it as a base or whatever, then I think you should finish what you've started. I think to start all over, even with just a visit visa, which is probably going to get denied. If she's been denied 4 times, she's going to get denied a 5th time.
So
Especially
if we get married, you're saying, and then she tries to come over on a tourist visa, she has a lot stronger ties now. She works for a Philippine company that her income is like crazy, way higher. You know what I'm saying? Than
right.
it used
But
to be.
that's
She owns
but
property
that's
now.
she's
stuff
working
like
for
that.
you, right?
She's a subcontractor of my company.
There's a lot of this they're not going to like. They might even think that the marriage is fake, so that she's really your subcontractor. There's lots of stuff. You want to have as little interaction with them as possible. My advice is finish the fiance case, get married, get the green card, and then go tour the world wherever you want to go. But they're not in the habit of giving visit visas to the spouses of U.S. citizens, because then you're a bigger tie to her in America than whatever job she has in the Philippines. And if she's really just a subcontractor of yours anyway, that's a whole other problem.
Even if I was to get residency in Dubai, like we've thought about getting residency in Dubai or something like that.
Well, I'd get the green card and then I'd get the 2-year reentry permit if you want to be gone for more than 6 months.
Okay. So we could get the green card and then go travel for a couple years and then be able to come back and still everything would be okay.
Yeah, it would give her no time towards citizenship, but it would keep her green card intact.
Okay. If for some reason we went the other route and we canceled the K1 and I just rolled the dice on seeing if I could get her maybe like a 10-year multi-entry visa, how long would it, she can't apply for a tourist visa until the K1 is out of their system and withdrawn, correct?
You should
How long
you should check chat boards. I have no idea, but I don't think that's going to work. I think the chances of success of her getting a 10-year multiple entry visit visa from the Philippines is less than 5%, and even if it does, it's going to take a year or so. But check all the chat boards. See what's the processing time for visit visas, and I'm telling you, I know that the percentages of approval will be very low. So that's all I know.
Do you have any idea how long you think if we continued to wait for the interview for her, like if we've waited 2 or 3 months since they've had everything in Manila, like do you have any idea how long that would take?
Still probably 6 to 12 months, I would think.
Wow. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for your help. I really
Sure, Adam. Good luck, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
See ya. All right. Hi there.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How do I say your name?
Jael.
Jael, how are you?
I'm good. Good. Happy birthday.
Thanks. What can I help you with?
I just have a few questions. The first question was, I've been living in the United States for 14 years now. I've had TPS, which is temporary protected status, and finally last year, the Biden administration renewed everything, and I filed my application around November, and I had to do biometric in December. Still to this day, I haven't heard anything back from them since I did my biometric in December 2021. And I got married also June of last year to a US citizen, and I ended up filing my I-130 and 485 in April of this year. As well as my I-765, which is another one on top of what I already filed for the TPS.
Yep.
But the thing is, was it in June of this year, I had written to USCIS asking them if they could expedite my I-765 because the one that I have has been expired, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I haven't heard anything from the TPS one or the marriage-based green card one.
Yep. And nothing. They haven't.
Nothing.
What are they saying is the processing time for EADs on TPS? Do you know?
It said 7 months. It said like at first it said I should have by July of this year, but now we're in September and I still haven't heard anything from them. And also I have moved from New York. Now I'm living in Florida, which I have already updated my address with them as well, letting them know that I've moved as well. But I haven't heard anything back on anything. I mean, the last thing online, it was on May 7th, saying that my application for the I-130 was actively being reviewed. And also they had let me know that they would reuse the biometric that I did in December. I didn't have to do a new one. And I had also forgotten to send them the health of the form 693. And they said to not send it now, that they would get it from me. Right. So my question is, what is the time frame of when I should hear back from them, either when it comes for the work authorization card or the approval of the I-130? It's been 5 months since I filed the I-130 and 485.
How long ago did you move?
I moved in May of this year.
Before or after you filed the marriage-based case?
After.
So like right after?
Yes. I filed it. I filed it in on April 21st, and I moved to Florida on May 13th. But I didn't update my address until June.
This might not have been avoidable, but just for everybody watching, if you know you're about ready to move and you're also thinking about filing, sometimes it's better to wait until you actually move. Did you move, Jael, from one state to another?
Yes.
Yeah, so that could be part of it. I mean, I don't think your marriage-based EAD or marriage-based case are unusually delayed. Have you called USCIS though about the TPS EAD?
No, I didn't call them about that.
Yeah, you might call them and see what they say. I would say if you don't have something by December, we could sue them, but that's sort of a pain in the butt to have to do. But I wouldn't, with TPS going away and then coming back, I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't a lot of people like you sort of stuck with that. So I would call USCIS, try to see if that can get something going. Otherwise, I'd just wait. And if nothing by November or December, then maybe we could sue them for both cases.
Also, the thing with the TPS is supposed to expire in February of next year.
Yeah.
So even if, I mean, I don't know when they're gonna give it to me, which I already paid for it. It's a whole,
Right.
you know, and I never got it.
I mean, we could sue them now if you want. If we sue them now, they're not going to fight on the EAD. They're going to give it to us. So I've probably filed 10 EAD lawsuits, and they don't even mess around with it. They just issue the work card. So whatever you want to do.
Would they give me the one with the expiration of the TPS, or would it be like a regular 18 months EAD?
No, I think it would probably be just to the date of the TPS ending. Now they might extend TPS, but that'll probably be after you get your EAD. So who knows?
Right. But as far as for the I-130 and the 485, it's still early. I still have
Yeah,
to
I wouldn't be
wait.
worried about that one.
All right. Okay. That
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, let's say hi to Jack. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Good.
All right. It's kind of complicated, my case. I am married to an American citizen for 7 years. But at the time we got married, my previous marriage wasn't finished completely. The divorce process wasn't finished. So I think at the time I was in divorce when I got married to my actual wife right now. So my question is, we are ready to apply for send the I-930 and all that stuff, but I have the divorce papers already. I'm divorced from my first marriage, but this is going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue if I file the I-130 for my wife to start the petition.
What's the date of your marriage?
I was married. I've been married for 7 years, 2014. No. I got married. I got married in Back at the Future Day, 10/21/15.
What's the date of your divorce?
I think is June then 17.
So
something like
you've not been married since October of 2015. You're not legally married.
So my marriage is not. It doesn't count. It's not legal.
Correct.
All right.
So you just need to get married now.
So like remarried.
Not remarried. The first marriage was invalid.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
not. You don't have to divorce or remarry, or you're just not married.
So basically, I'm not married right now. My marriage is invalid.
Correct. I mean, that's without me looking at the paperwork, but based on your timeline, yeah.
So I'm not sure about the divorce date. To be honest, is any time frame for that?
I don't understand.
I mean, because you asked me for the date. Like my divorce was finished. I actually don't remember when my marriage was. I give you an estimate, but my question is any time frame for that? I mean,
well,
I got married on October the 15th, but I think the divorce papers came out. I don't know if at the beginning of the 16 or something like that.
Okay, so I muted your mic because it keeps feeding back. So can you hear me? Okay. So as this is for everybody watching, when you apply for a marriage-based green card, it's your duty to prove that you're eligible for the benefit that you're asking for. So USCIS doesn't have to figure out the date of your marriage and the date of your divorce. You have to establish that you were free to marry on the day that you married your U.S. citizen spouse. It's your duty. So saying I don't remember isn't really good, because you need to go out and get a copy of, I would say you need a copy of your marriage to person A, your marriage to person B, your divorce to person A, and your new marriage to person B. Those are all the things you need to know, those dates backward and forward. You need to have documentation, certified copies of each of those documents, and then you'll be ready at your interview to walk them through why the second marriage to person B was legally valid.
All right, I got you then. All right, Jim, I think that answer my question. Thank you so much, man.
You got it, Jack. See you, buddy. All right, that was a fun little case. Everyone remember, it's always your burden. Always your burden as the person seeking immigration benefit to show that each requirement of the law is satisfied. If you don't satisfy each burden that you have, and of course with an I-130, the $1 million question, really the main and only reason they can deny you for an I-130 is that one of the people going through the marriage was not free to marry. If you're not free to marry, you don't even get in the door. It's an easy denial, no interview. The timeline doesn't work, you lose. So if you want to win, you've got to demonstrate that you were legally free to marry. Now, in our office, we've probably handled, I don't know, 20 cases over the years with people who weren't legally validly married. Many times they've already filed and they call us to come to an interview with them and we say, yo, bro, you ain't married. This case is over. And people come on the show every now and then and we sort of unearth that. So timing is very important. What was the date of your divorce? You could be married 7 years like Jack, but if your divorce became final the day after your marriage to person B, it's not legally valid and it can't serve as the basis for any immigration benefits. So hopefully that all makes sense. Let's say hi to Claudia. Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Good. Could you hear me?
I got you. What's up?
Okay. I've been in your show many times, and I just called to tell you that my husband finally is getting his interview next month.
In Juarez or where?
Yes, Juarez.
I remember. That's good. Are you worried about it? How
Many
long have you been waiting? Just so I know, because that place is slower than Manila.
Yes. We put in the first paperwork July 2nd
Of what year?
20.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, so that's a long
So
time.
it's been a little bit over 2 years now.
So is there anything you're worried about at the interview?
Being that we have a big age gap, and that's what I'm worried about. Do they look into that a lot?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
How big are you talking?
Double.
Double. Well, double could be 20 and 40, double could be 30 and 60. So I'm more concerned about the number of years, but I mean, I think our record in the office is 38 years. So and the tricky thing, Claudia, is your spouse is going to be the one who has to explain it. So they need to practice and be able to articulate what it is they love about you and why they want to come and all that stuff. So it's sort of one of those things where ain't no lawyer who can help you with this. It's like you're on your own, brah. And how are you going to answer the questions, right? So that's, he should practice for a while, because if he goes, well, I don't know, I like her, she's cool, we like hanging out, and I really want to go there. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah, no, he actually could pick up any small detail from the smallest detail, so I think he would be good in that situation. I'm just should I just send them with a lot of pictures, not a few, but the pictures we've gone since the time we've been married?
Sure. I mean, he's going to need to bring updated evidence and, a copy of the application and everything, all that stuff for sure. But really at that stage, it's really all about the officer looking him in the eye and figuring out, is this guy scamming Claudia to get a green card, or do I believe this marriage?
Okay then.
Well, all right. Well, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
All right. See ya. Bye, Claudia. Thanks. All right. We have somebody who calls himself Fast Question. Let's see if they are true to their word.
Hi, Jim.
Hello, Fast Question. What's up?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Happy birthday first. I have a quick. I have really fast question about a friend of mine. So I think he had the like asylum or refugee. I don't know the difference between them. So he decided to marry like a woman. Uh, so like the first question is like the marriage can fix the asylum thing, or the asylum can affect the marriage if you want to apply as a like base marriage. So this is the first question. The second question is they have like 8 years gap. She's older than him. And the third one and the worst, he doesn't speak English and she can't speak English. And they use Google Translate. And this is really bad. And even me, I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but I want to just ask you. And she has kids and he doesn't. So this is about the first person. The second person,
Wait, hold on. First of all,
yeah.
none of these are in
Yeah.
fact fast questions, just for the record. So let's just stick with this guy first, okay?
Okay.
Make up a name for this person that we can call this. What's this person's fake name? Give me a fake name.
I will give him a letter. He can say A.
A. Okay. A. I don't like calling people by letters. Let's call him Alan. Alan. All right.
Okay.
So when did Alan enter the United States, roughly?
I'm not sure, but between 3 to 4 years.
Okay. So Alan enters the United States, and what country is Alan from?
He's from Egypt, Egyptian.
And Alan files for asylum and says, if I go back to Egypt, something bad's going to happen to me. I'm going to be persecuted, right?
I think so. I don't know. This
Okay.
is what
so Alan's case is still pending. No decision on the asylum case from the asylum office.
I think so. That's why he decided to get married.
And well, okay. First of all, Alan can't say that that's why he decided to get married. You can't say I decided to. You can't say I decided to get married because my asylum case was taking too long.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Alan got married because he's in love.
Yeah.
Alan loves this person, and this person loves Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the question. And did Alan have a visa when Alan came into the United States, or did Alan sneak into the United States?
Okay. Yeah, he had a visa. I think visitor visa.
And Alan is legally married to this person, right?
Not yet. He's thinking to get married tomorrow. So at least, and I give him advice before he's gonna do it. So that's why I'm trying to get you faster. He's trying to get me to be his translator tomorrow. So I'm trying to give him advice. I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
So Alan speaks Arabic and not much English, is what you're saying?
Almost zero.
So just as an aside, Adele and I once had a case where, let's see, the lady was from Bosnia and the guy was from Brazil. And she didn't speak English. He didn't speak English. The U.S. citizen was the Bosnian lady, and there was an age gap. And I remember Adela asked her, she said, hey, if he speaks Portuguese and you speak Bosnian, how do you two talk? And I swear to God, without missing a beat, this lady said, we speak the language of love, whatever that meant, if you can believe that. Okay. As for Alan, and based on what you've said, I'm going to read between the lines a little bit. And it sounds to me like Alan has found some desperate person who has some babies, who wants to help him out and speed up his immigration process. And Alan thinks it's smart to marry this person that he probably hasn't known very long and who he can't actually communicate with. This sounds like a textbook case that they're going to think is immigration fraud. So I would encourage Alan not to go through with this plan. I think it's a harebrained scheme that's going to get him in trouble. And it's the kind of case that makes life hard for immigrants and immigration lawyers like yours truly. So
you don't recommend him at all?
No, because we've seen, what does he have in common with this person other than she would like some financial help with her and her kids and he would like to get a green card? That's what it just sounds like, a total transaction to me.
I don't know. I don't know lots of details, but this is what, even for me, it looks not that really good case.
Well, here, I will make a free offer. And just by the way, well, I can't say that, but I will make a free offer for old Alan.
Uh-huh.
I will ask my wife to meet with Alan before the marriage. And she will slice and dice him in Arabic so much that he'll be so scared he won't even think about marrying that American lady.
I would love to. If you're gonna give him this offer, I would tell him hold on and just wait for at least 3 days. Let
Yeah,
like
perfect.
someone.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we can make that. We can make that happen. I will talk to Imani and just send your email. Send your email to the team and tell them, hey, I'm fast question number 1, and
Mhm.
this dude Alan needs to talk to Imani, and
Sure.
I'll set that up. Okay. Did you have another question?
Oh yeah. So the other
this is
person I know. Okay.
question number 2.
Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, my questions are fast, but the answers take longer. So
That's true.
yeah.
Go
So
ahead. Go ahead.
the other person, he came to the United States illegally, like from the borders, when he was a teenager. So he considered as a kid, I think. So they gave him asylum and everything. Now he got married, like American citizen. So he is trying to like drop his like asylum and like be like use his marriage base. He didn't apply yet, but he think that the marriage is really strong, is gonna help him. But we keep telling him don't do that because you're gonna be in trouble if you like drop your asylum or you just
Did he already get approved for asylum, or it's still
I
pending?
don't know, but he has his work permit. I don't know. Is this approved for him or no? I'm not really.
No, that doesn't mean
good at
no.
it.
That guy should talk to an immigration lawyer, and he
Sorry.
can talk. That guy should talk to
Yeah. So
an immigration lawyer. I agree with you. He shouldn't withdraw the asylum case for no reason.
sure. Hello, can you hear me too?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Don't dismiss the asylum case. Talk to somebody first. All right. I think we've lost fast question.
Okay. Hello, Joe.
You got it? That person needs to talk
Yeah,
to a lawyer.
So he's supposed to know drop it, and so do you think he can fix his status because he came illegally?
In theory, he could, but asylum might be his best bet. So he's got to keep all of his options open. But I can't answer a question like that on here.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's all I have today. So I
Good
will
luck,
also
bud.
send you an email and I will remind you about. So
That sounds great.
So should I stop this person? He gonna get married tomorrow.
Yeah, tell him no. Don't get married tomorrow until he talks to a Manny.
Okay. Thank you so much and have a good day and have a great day again.
Manny will talk to him in Arabic, so no problem.
Yeah, that's why. Actually, I told him about your wife and she's Egyptian. So he was like, okay, but
she's gonna. I wish we could do that on the show, but that would be fun. But that's okay. All right, see you, buddy.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
All right, let's say hi to Maryland or DC. What's up, Maryland or DC?
Hey, hi Jim. Sorry for no camera. It's pretty late here.
No problem.
So my question is related to litigation. Actually, I saw your video on what happens if you sue in Department of State. So my work visa got stuck in India, and I waited for like 120 days. Then I contacted one immigration lawyer, and he filed like writ of mandamus, uh, but like few other people who also are in same situation. Basically, he filed every case in Maryland, and because almost all of them don't have any ties to US, like they are the first timers. So a lot of them got shifted, like transferred to DC, and now I got information that now the 60-day clock resets. So I just wanted to know like how that process works. Like, do the lawyer have any say in this?
Well, the 60 days doesn't reset simply because the case went from Maryland to DC. The U.S. government probably asked for some more time, and your attorney probably agreed to it.
Okay, so because the docket says that motion to transfer, and he says that he consented to that. So now it got opened in DC like after 10 days, and he says the judge is gonna issue another 60 days. So
It could be. I don't know. That's possible. Anything's possible. I mean, when you file a lawsuit, you want to get along with the U.S. attorneys because they're your friend. They're the ones who are going to talk to the State Department to try to get your case moving. So you don't want to piss them off. So if they ask for more time, you probably give it to them.
And about like preferred venue of the case if you don't have any ties to US, like where
Those are
should you
tricky.
file?
Those are tricky. We usually try to come up with a connection. Like if we know the employer is going to be located somewhere, or if it's hard. It's hard, like you said, for first timers, people who haven't been here before. But usually we try to come up. I would prefer not to file either of those lawsuits in Maryland or DC, but sometimes you have to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's all I have. And thank you for all the help and happy
You got
birthday.
it. Good luck. All right. Let's say hi to Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Not bad. Hey Sam. I've got a friend of mine. He basically was born in Saudi Arabia, but he holds a Pakistani passport,
Okay.
and he won the DV lottery based on a written place of birth, Saudi Arabia, and so he has an interview coming up, lined up next week,
Next
and
week. Hey, it's
yeah.
cutting it close.
He is, yeah. But the thing is, like, he lost his birth certificate and he's trying to get it from the Saudi Arabia, but they don't listen. They say if you don't have a record of your old passport or a birth certificate copy, it is hard to get one. And he's got an affidavit because he can't fly to Saudi Arabia to get it done because he hasn't got any record of it. So
Where is
he
he?
has got.
Where's he going to have his interview?
He's going to have his interview in Australia. He's residing in Australia at this stage. So he also has got an affidavit.
This sounds like a law school exam question.
Mm.
The guy, Pakistani national, born in Saudi Arabia, living in Australia, thinks he's going to get the diversity visa approved without a birth certificate. That just sounds ridiculous to me. I mean, I became Muslim 25 years ago. Most of my clients are from Muslim countries. The hardest thing for me to do is to get a visa approved for a Muslim man or a man from a predominantly Muslim country. So the idea that they're going to believe him that he was born in Saudi Arabia off an affidavit, I mean, and that they're going to do that 10 days before the end of the fiscal year for purposes of the diversity visa, I think your boy's screwed.
Okay. And he's got his sister approved as well, but like she has a birth certificate, but the only thing is like her date of birth is it wrong because it was backdate. He says it was handwritten birth certificate, and but the documentation says the different. All the documentation says the different date.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. As far as he's concerned, I think he's in big trouble.
Okay.
Because again, they don't want to give it to him. It's not like Ty goes to the runner or like, can we figure out a way to help him? They don't want to help him. They want to hurt him.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what about his sister? I mean, should he show up as well? Because she has got all the documentation, with the different birth date, whereas her birth certificate says a different date in Arabic, I guess.
I don't know, man. They got to sort that out. I don't know.
Right, Jim. That's all.
Remember, just like I said earlier to that guy, it's your burden to prove who you are. It's your burden to prove eligibility. It's your burden to have a birth certificate that satisfies them. So all that stuff is your burden as the applicant. It's not their burden to make you prove stuff. So
yeah, okay.
All right. Thanks for the call,
all right,
Sam.
Cool. Thanks, Jim.
All right, see you, buddy.
Happy birthday, though.
Thanks so much. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show, Ms. Hooley. We're going to be back on Monday. We don't know what time we're going to be back on Monday. So if you really, really, really want to get in the waiting room first, you need to text the word show to 314-470-3300. I also might do some kind of pop-up episode. I don't know, maybe on Thursday or even over the weekend. Maybe not. But you never know. That's how we keep you on your toes. But I hope you all have a great rest of the week. We did our shows this week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Or no, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Thank you, Hooley. And tomorrow we'll be traveling out to beautiful San Diego, having lunch with some of our team members out in San Diego, and then going to see Dave Matthews, and then going to see my son all day Saturday. So pretty good deal. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for the happy birthday wishes. We'll see you next time.